guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and in this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you how to make my spicy grilled chicken salad with avocado and red onion. We're going to make a little cilantro vinaigrette to go with it. It is so simple and easy. It requires a handful of ingredients, which these are typical ingredients I usually have on hand. Give or take, maybe I'll have some heirloom tomatoes, but instead of regular tomatoes, but generally I always have some chicken breast that's been pounded thinly. I buy it like this in my local supermarket. I've got some limes, an avocado, red onion, some beautiful tomatoes. I've got some taco seasoning, which I'll talk about this in just a minute, fresh cilantro, and today I've got some bib lettuce, but usually I have some spring mix or some arugula or whatnot. But I do prefer a more mild buttery lettuce with this, like the bib lettuce, because that way it doesn't take away from the vinaigrette and the spicy chicken with the spiced up chicken. Now, this is my taco spice mix. I make this myself. If you go to my taco recipe, you can kind of see, you can see it there with all written in the recipe on laurinthekitchen.com. You'll get this recipe, but I'll write the recipe for my special blend in this recipe, obviously. But you can also use some regular store-bought taco seasoning mix. I prefer to make my own because there's too much salt and the kind of stuff you bet in the packet. So I'm not going to need all of this chicken for the salad because it's just my husband and I, but I love leftover chicken in the fridge. It's just something I love, grilled, ready to go, to pick at or to put on a salad last minute. It's my thing. So now to that, I'm going to just drizzle some olive oil. I'm going to put in there my taco spice mix. And I'm also going to add in some salt. Now, if you're using the packet taco seasoning, don't add the salt. It already has salt in it. I like to add my own salt. That way, I don't add too much. Mix this around so that it's all coated really well. Now, I'm just going to take my chicken and put it on my grill pan. I've got a stovetop grill pan here preheating over about medium-high heat. And this chicken, since it's pounded pretty thin, is only going to take about 3 to 4 minutes on one side and about 3 minutes on the other side. But always check it to make sure it's done, it's done. I'm just going to probably do this in batches. This is good. All right, while that's happening, let's get going on the salad. Now I have my bib lettuce here washed and dried. I dried it in my salad spinner. And instead of chopping it, I just pulled each leaf apart. It's just nice and fluffy and delicious. And since I made my grilled chicken Caesar salad, so many people were like, oh, show us some more salads. Hey, we want more salads. So I figured I love eating salads, so I might as well share a few more with you. I'm just going to take out the core. I cut my tomato in half. I just like to cut my tomatoes in nice big wedges. And now obviously you could add anything you wanted to this. You could add some salsa to this. You could add in a can of black beans. You could add in some corn. Totally adapt this to what you have on hand and to what you like. This is what I have. This is what I usually use. And this is what I like. So I'm just going to carry on with my tomatoes. Slicing some red onion nice and thin, and I like to just scatter this all over. So it's like really colorful, it's really beautiful to look at, and it just looks appetizing, even if people don't genuinely, like salads. Like generally some people just don't. But I think if it's visual, it looks beautiful, it's got some good flavors, and that's the thing. Flavor. You want to always add as much flavor as you can. Even something as little as throwing some seasoning on the chicken really will make this changing the recipe completely. So it goes from pretty boring to exciting. I think that's plenty onion for now. And then I'm just going to take my avocado, cut this in half. It should be nice and ripe, but not too ripe. Cut it right there down the middle. Twist it. And now I usually take the seed out with a spoon just because it can be really dangerous if someone just goes in with a knife. Just pop out the half right on your cutting board. I'm going to slice this as well. My chicken is fully cooked. Got beautiful color from those spices. I'm just going to put it onto a clean plate. Make sure you grab a pair of clean tongs as well because you don't want to use the same tongs you used on the raw chicken. So I've got my salad pretty much all ready. I've got all my veggies here. Now what I want to do is I want to sprinkle the salt directly on the veggies instead of putting putting the salt in the vinaigrette, which I will put a touch of salt in the vinaigrette, but most of it I want to put it on the veggies itself, just because tomatoes and avocados especially really need salt. So now what I've got here are some limes. I've got 4 of them. You're not going to need 4 of them. You're most likely just going to need 1, maybe 2. These just are not very juicy whatsoever, so I'm going to end up having to use 4. I just know it. I popped them in the microwave for about 10 seconds as well, but they are just rock hard. My local supermarket is disappointing me. Okay, I'm just going to take a fork and juice all of these right in there. I'm looking for about 3 or 4 tablespoons of lime juice. I like things super citrusy, so that's always up to you. Looks good. About 3 tablespoons, I'd say. Okay, wet my hands a little bit. Now I've got some cilantro. I love cilantro, everything about it, and I think cilantro, lime, avocados, it's like a match made in food heaven. If you have one, you have to have the other. Makes sense, right? So I want to chop this up really well because I kind of want this to go through all the way through the vinaigrette. So I'm just going to take an extra minute to finally chop this up. That looks good. Patience is just not something I was born with. It's not. It's as fun as it's going to get. Okay, let's get the rest of it off here. Now to this, I'm going to add just a small pinch of salt. Wipe my hand. Plenty of black pepper. And then we're going to add in our olive oil. And that is it. It's flavorful to the max, and I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now what I'm going to do is drizzle my vinaigrette directly on my greens, specifically on my avocados, because they need it. All right. And that is literally it. It's done. Done. We're good to go. Now top it with your grilled chicken. And you, my friend, are in business. I'm going to take each piece, cut it in nice large pieces like so, and put that right on top. How beautiful does that look? I suddenly have a really fancy accent. I don't know where that came from. That's a great lunch. Fantastic light dinner. Maybe a baguette on the side wouldn't hurt. Just saying. I think a baguette always completes every single meal. But that is it. Now I don't want to disturb this, so here's what I'm going to do. Take a little piece of chicken from over here and cut that up. Where's my fork? Get a piece of avocado. I'll get a big piece of avocado. Piece of onion, piece of chicken. Great flavor. Super easy to put together. Took absolutely no time at all. Play around with flavors you enjoy. Give this one a shot. Go to laurainthekitchen.com to get the recipe. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.